Simply Tammy.
It's a blessing that I'm here, I'm alive. No, I never ever have to cry, cause it's something I know will always work for me on my side. Not a thing I even have to fight, All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the love come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires. All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the joy come alive, watch the joy come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires.
Inspired to love, inspired to grow, inspired to heal, inspired to live. Simply Tammy.
Hello, and welcome back for another episode of the Simply Tammy Show. I'm your host, Simply Tammy, and as always, I am excited to invite you into these spaces with me to hear some amazing stories from some amazing people who we all have life journeys that we go through in life, and everyone's not brave enough to share their testimonies, their experiences, but I'm grateful for those that say yes to come sit in this space with me and share. And this is a special segment. This segment is known as "And the Beat Lives On." So we're getting ready to hear a story of love beyond grief. So I have an amazing woman here with me. She's a founder of a widow support group. She has a foundation. We're going to talk about that, give you all the details. So without further delay, welcome to the Simply Tammy Show, Lanita Bolden.
Hi, Tammy.
Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No problem. Thank you for saying yes and welcome. So, grief is not the topic that people love to talk about or welcome to talk about. And it is a journey that we all will have to take at some point. And I'm sure you probably have experienced it in different facets of your life, but I come to know you because of the foundation that you created in memory of your late husband.
Correct.
So Gerald Bolden, right?
Gerard Bolden.
Gerard Bolden. Okay. Sorry for the mispronunciation. So tell us about Gerard. How did you meet?
Wow. Gerard and I met. Actually, he was working at Hardee's on Augusta Road. And
Really? Which one? I used to work at Hardee's.
On Augusta Road, down by 85.
The one that used to be, we used to be a head station there. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
He was a cook.
Okay.
And I had come in for an interview, or come in to pick up an application.
Okay.
And he said he told the manager when I came in, he said, "That's going to be my wife."
Really?
So I wasn't old.
What year was this?
1979, 80.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I wasn't even old enough to be working. I think at that time you had to be 15 or 16. And I was either 14 or 15.
Okay.
I was 1 year younger. But him and the manager were real close. And he hired me. I got hired all because of Gerard.
Really?
But our relationship didn't start off too good.
Breaking the law.
Yeah. It didn't start off too good because he was shy and I was shy, so he wouldn't say nothing to me. And so the manager brought him up to the cash register and said, "Go ahead, Gerard. Go ahead, Gerard." And he said, "Well, you want to go out?" And I said, "Sure." And I said, "Where we going?" He said, "Well, I don't know." So in my mind, I said, "Well, I don't go out with anybody that don't know where they're going."
Right.
So I turned him down. But he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He would always schedule me on the same shifts he was on. So we eventually got together.
Okay. So he had a real in with the manager.
Oh yeah, he did, and we started dating in the summer before my senior year in high school, which was 80 because I graduated in 81.
Okay.
And then we got married on May 3rd, 1986.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he was his family was they into the church. They sung, and I love to hear him sing. I think that's what really attracted me to him. We went to church one Sunday, he was leading a song. But yeah, and it was love at first sight, I think.
Oh, wow.
He said the same thing, so.
Beautiful, beautiful story. So how long were you married before he transitioned and
Let's see, we met in 86 and he died in 2009. So we were married, what, 24, 25 years?
Okay.
Because I was actually getting ready to plan our 25th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what led up to his transition? Was it something sudden? Was there an illness?
He was diagnosed with a kidney failure in actually November of 2004.
Okay.
And he died 5 years later, November of 2009.
Wow.
And he actually had a heart attack as they were preparing him to get on the dialysis machine.
Wow.
He woke up that morning. Well, really, that week we had went to Emory University in Georgia, and because they were going to put him on a cessation program to quit smoking, and we had went to other places to try to get him kidney to get on the waiting list and all of that. And Emory called and said, "Hey, we can do this, help you lose weight, quit smoking." We had went that Tuesday. To Emory. And while we were there, he was walking, he called me Neat. He said, "Neat, my feet don't feel right. Can you go to, when they would call him up to the desk and I would go and take care of the business." And then when we got home, I looked at his feet and his feet was dark, had started turning dark.
Oh, wow.
And the next morning, he got up, go to dialysis that Wednesday, kissed me on the cheek. And within 30 minutes, they called and said, "Miss Bolden, you need to meet us at Hillcrest Hospital."
Wow.
And he was gone.
Wow. So when this particular segment and The Beat Lives On, the inspiration for this came from my mother transitioned in 2006, and I remember the same day she passed, later that day, I was in the car driving to a store and just crying, and I remember this wrenching pain in my chest, almost like somebody had grabbed my heart and kind of ripped it. Hence, and the beat lives on, because sometimes there is a physical manifestation or response to the experience. So did you feel anything physically once you got the news, or was it?
I think I just totally went numb. I think I was actually somewhere else within me, physically in the earth, but my mind and all was somewhere else until about 2015. Really? And that's when I had went back to school, to Greenville Tech, and I graduated with an associate degree in management. And when I hugged my brother at the graduation, it was like I felt like me again. I don't know what I did between, those 7 years, but it's just like I felt like me again.
Wow.
And then I think me and my sons, we laughed because we wouldn't cry around each other, because when we found out that they wouldn't cry because they thought I would fall apart, and then I wouldn't cry because I thought they would fall apart.
Right.
So we were just, living life and trying to be strong for each other. But I don't know, I was just numb. When the holidays or birthdays, because he loved celebrating anything, birthdays, holidays. When those days would come around, I think I would just go into recluse. My sons would say, "Mama, you got to get out of that room," or I would be happy, and then it seemed like the holidays would come, and then I would go into a shell.
Oh, wow.
I would just go into a shell.
Yeah.
And then one Christmas, right after I graduated, and I just felt like living again. But I didn't realize that I was in a depression until I came out of the depression.
Oh,
if that
wow.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So how old were your children when?
Let's see. My oldest, well, I can tell you how old they are now. My oldest is 40, and then I have a 36-year-old and a 34-year-old. And they were, my youngest one had just went to school that first semester at 𝙘𝙤𝙾 University.
Okay, so they were all out of high school.
Oh yeah, they were out of high school.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that would be what, 18, 20, and maybe 26 or 27.
Okay. Okay.
So they were adults.
Okay.
And his goal was, and that's what I would always tell him when he went on dialysis, please, because they was acting up in school. I said, please, at least graduate from high. Let your daddy see you graduate from high school,
Yeah.
And so they did graduate.
Yeah. Hey, just for a moment, I wanted to interrupt you. So no, the video has not messed up. This is an intentional interruption just for me first to say thank you, because if you've gotten to this point, that means you're still watching this interview, and hopefully you're hearing some things that are helping you, encouraging you, inspiring you. But I thank you for taking the time to listen, to get to know some of these amazing people, and to be encouraged and inspired by their stories. Second of all, I want to give you an opportunity to partner with me. If there is something that you think you can offer to this platform, either hands-on if you're local to the Greenville area, if you know some guests that you think I should interview, or if you see the transitions that we've gone through from when I started with Women Who Win and now doing this in my own space, and you say, I want to support that vision, I want to give to it, we welcome any type of support that you have to give. We also are going to have opportunities for organizations and businesses. You don't have to be local to Greenville, but we can spotlight you during our show segments. If any of that sounds interesting to you and you want to participate, shoot me an email. I'm going to put the email address on the screen, and I want to give you all of the information on how you can partner and connect so that we can keep bringing these people before you, sharing their amazing stories, offering them a safe space to share their journeys, and to also help encourage you along yours. So thank you again for listening, and now back to this interview. So you started the G-Man Foundation. Was that the year that he passed was the same year you started the foundation?
No, I actually started the foundation, and I began the planning of it in 2010.
Okay.
But we didn't award our first scholarship until 2011, and then we got our legal paperwork in 2011 to start the foundation. Because Gerard was a giver. He loved helping people. We went to church at that time at Nicholtown Baptist Church, and there would be people that needed food, needed money. He would give a coat off his back. Now, grant you, we were struggling financially, but he saw it better to give to them because he felt like they were in more of a need than we were. And he knew the Lord would bless him, after to give what he had. And so I thought no better way to honor him. And he was a staunch proponent of our kids getting an education. He would always say, at least give me 1 year of college, at least 1 year. So I said, well, I think that would be a good way to honor him, to start a foundation to help those students with some of their college expenses, to help them get in there, and maybe once they get in there, they'll stay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we've helped over 20 plus students and given over about $22,000.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. A lot of people don't think, we usually give about $1,000 here, $500 here. But I tell you, when my kids was in school, and them books was like $800, $900, that $1,000 make a difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. So were there difficulties with starting the foundation, or did you automatically know what to do? Was there?
Well, I'm the kind of person that when I put my mind to something, I just go for it. I had no clue what I was doing, no clue. But to the Lord's credit, I'm an organized person. And I am somewhat of a graphic person. Okay. So I create all my flyers, my letters. I still do it today. But I just let the Lord lead me on what to do. Our first scholarship we awarded 2 students, actually 1 student at Woodmont High School, which was Gerard's alma mater. And we've expanded. We started off giving 1 $250 scholarship and 1 $500 scholarship, and now we're up to giving 4 $1,000 scholarships.
Wow.
So we are excited. it's a blessing to get to know these students.
Yes.
There's so much work to do, and we want to expand to do SAT prep. We found out that a lot of these kids really don't know what they want to major in, or even after a year in school. So we're going to try to expand the program. But it was, just get in there and learn it.
Yeah.
Get in there and learn it.
Yeah. So was it an emotional process for you to start something in his honor, or was it more therapeutic for you to start something in his honor?
It at sometimes was emotional, and it became emotional when I would see his picture on stuff. It was just it was like it was taking you back, but then to see the goodness on the other side, the blessing that his name is still living on.
Yes.
He's not forgotten.
Yes.
And that the students can be relieved of some financial obligations, and to know that he's helping others. And sometimes if I still see a picture, it still can be emotional, but I'm stronger now. I'm sure, as you can see, because when we did the other, I just totally fell apart. But it is gratifying, and it is a blessing to be able to do this in his honor.
Yes. So what are the requirements, and how do people find out more about being involved with the 𝙘𝙗𝙗 Scholarship Foundation?
They can go to our website, which is 𝙘𝙗𝙗 Scholarship Foundation, all one word, .org.
Okay.
And they can look on our website and contact us there. They can contact us at the phone number 864-420-5596.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page and an Instagram, 𝙘𝙗𝙗 Scholarship.
Okay.
So multiple ways you can find us.
Okay, so I get the G because his name was Gerard. Was G-Man a nickname of his? Okay.
I used to call him G-Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. That's sweet. That's sweet. So you said when you graduated in 2015, you felt like you were yourself again, like whatever days you had been in over those years since he passed. And in 2022, was it, you started a
widow support
widow support group?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the inspiration for that, and did it come from feeling like you were not supported, or you just were, so many people were led your way that you wanted to do more?
Both.
Okay.
Initially, the Lord put on my heart when Gerard passed to start the widow support group. I wasn't emotionally ready. I could not do that at that time. So I started the foundation in it instead. And then a series of deaths happened with my friends. Their spouses passed away, and they would come to me for comfort. And that was my confirmation that it was time. I shared experiences with the ladies when we meet, or when I do one-on-one. It's just a conversation. A lot of times they're really not ready to go in a setting of a lot of people because they're still emotionally broken. So we just call and talk or go out to eat. But we talk about things like, how do you deal with the holidays now? In my case, I was walking in, I think it was Kmart, and I realized I had nobody to go home to anymore.
Wow.
My children were grown, dealing with going out to eat for the first time. The first time you go out to eat, the first time you take a trip, you don't have that, I won't say that support, but it's just like you're kind of in the world all alone, because in my case, you've been a mother, a wife. I was a caretaker for my husband when he was sick. So I had all these hats, and now I have nothing. So who am I, and what am I to do? I also felt like, when the person passes away, everybody's at the house, they call you, but then right after that funeral, everybody disappears. And that's when you really need them the most. Even though you say, I'm good, it feels good for somebody to check on you.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
just call me and check on me. you feel left out because especially things that are happening in the community, nobody invites you. You know, they have their spouses or their friends. Nobody thinks about the widow. Call, you know, and see if she wants to go.
Yeah.
She might not want to drive at night by herself.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
different things like that. So we just talk. When I was meeting with the ladies, I would have a subject matter to talk about, which is, you know, your holidays, birthday celebrations, being a mother and father to sons, you know, and then I do the subject matter, and then I just let them talk. You know, what did you experience today? What did you feel like you achieved this week that was better than last week? You know, so it's just a space to talk about where you are, you know, and I always call it adjusting to your new normal.
Yes.
Because your normal is not the same.
Right, right.
You go to the store, you buy one steak instead of two.
Yeah.
And I used to buy, when I would be out of town working, I would buy, because that's what we would call taking our vacations, because when I travel with my job, my husband and my kids would come with me. But when I would go and I would buy 2 cups of something so that people would think that there's 2 of us instead of 1.
Wow.
You know, you have so many fears of just being alone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
So how, over the years, how have you overcome those fears, or how have you adjusted to life now?
embracing my journey.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to change, but I have to change my mindset about the journey and realize that I have to make it what it is. People, you know, they think that things are going to change or things are going to shift, but it's all your perspective on how you look at it, you know. I think when I started the foundation, also the Widow Support Group, it gave me another purpose. You know, wearing those other hats and fulfilling those callings that the Lord had put on me at that time were done. Those were up. So now what's left next for Lanita?
Yes.
And it was to continue to help others.
Yes.
You know, what did I get out of the life that I shared with Gerard, and continue his memory? Because one of the other things with the widows is you're thinking, if I move on, is that disrespecting him? You know, because I don't want to forget him, and I don't want him to think I forgot him.
Right.
So if I move on, is that okay?
Right.
You know,
Right.
is it okay to even be happy? You know,
Right.
when Gerard first passed, I can remember going to his mom's house, and they were sitting at the dinner table, and they were just laughing and having fun. And I came through the door, and I said, "What is so funny? You know, why are they happy?
Wow.
You know, Gerard just passed, so why am I happy?"
Yeah.
But it was their walk with the Lord to know that to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord, and they were okay, but I wasn't there yet.
Right.
But as time has passed and I've embraced my journey, I can be happy and I can laugh, and that's okay.
Yes.
And that's not forgetting him.
Absolutely.
And that's not disrespecting him.
Absolutely.
But that's just continuing to live.
Right.
But life is going to go on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think in our expression and continued celebration of life beyond grief, it is a way to honor those that we love that have passed, because I'm sure, you said he sang, and I'm sure there were other things that he brought to the table that was very full of life.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he would want you to continue in that vein. Yes.
He would. My niece, Raphael, who you know, she said, "Oh, they don't nobody love you like Gerard loved you." He said he loved him some Neat. He called me Neat. And that makes me feel good, you know.
Yes.
That our relationship was true love.
Yes.
Now my goal is to continue that love through helping others and keeping his name alive.
Yes. Yeah. So with working with widows, because I've heard, you know, women say that, you know, when their husband passed, they didn't know anything. They didn't know where anything was. They didn't know how to pay the bills. They didn't know how to take care of the house. And I can imagine, you know, probably things like getting your car checked, getting things done around the house. Is there a common thing you hear a lot that women deal with right at the brink of that transition? Like, are they numb like you were, or are they frantic because they don't even know what to do next?
It's a mixture. In some relationships with their husband, they were like, they shared responsibilities, you know. She might get the oil changed, or he'll tell her, go here and get the oil changed. And then there were those who did absolutely nothing. They paid no bills. They didn't wash the car. They didn't, you know, do any yard work, anything like that. Now with Gerard, he would try to get me to do stuff. 'Cause I'm not an outdoors person.
Right.
You know, I run from a fly. And so I wasn't too good outside, but the one thing I can say was he was great at managing money. You know, he would pay the bills first, and we live off of what was left. Well, I would live and then pay the bills. But it can be a transition. It's truly scary because you feel like you've always heard those wives' tales that even when you go shopping for a car, that they might try to take advantage because you're by yourself. But luckily I have 3 sons that are there by my side. You know, anything I need, they're right there. They were even asking, Mama, where you going tonight? You know, it's 7 o'clock, where you going? But I have 3 sons that take good care of me. So they're just a phone call away.
Yeah. So did you see them step up in a different way after his transition? Like, did you see their maturity shift or transition because they felt like they had to be something more to you in his absence?
They became my father.
Oh, wow. Yeah, every move.
Yeah, they, I'm just kidding, but they, you know, they check on me more. If I'm attempting to do something, they'll say, Mama, you know, I'll do it. You know, if we're in conversation, they say, I'll come by and do it. But I'm trying not to be dependent on them because I know they have their lives to live. But it's good to know that I do have them in those times.
So if people are interested in connecting with you as far as the widow support group is concerned, how would they contact you or connect with you for that?
They can contact me, Lanita Bolden, at 864-270-4411.
Okay.
Or they can email me at WIMN, WIMN, 322@gmail.com.
Okay. WIMN.
Walking in my newness.
Okay. 322 at Gmail.
At gmail.com.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you mentioned 2015, you felt like yourself again. We're like 9 years past that now. So who is Lanita now? Who do you feel like you are now? You raised 3 sons. You were a caretaker to your husband. I'm sure you were an amazing wife during his time with you. So who did you become after that transition, and who did that make you to be now?
One of the things I always share with the widows when we meet is, in these times you can become selfish to be and do kind of what you wanted to do all along. And I think now I am, I see things in a different perspective. That's one of the things I always tell the ladies, I said, or family and friends, to love the people that you love, because you never know. So I find myself growing closer to the Lord, and I'm still truly searching. Even though I have these purposes, I think they're going to come together to something bigger than just these 2 things. I think this is just the beginning of where God is taking me.
Okay.
So I'm still growing. I was a proud 60-year-old last October.
Okay.
So I am embracing my age and looking forward to retirement.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. So when we think about And the Beat Lives On, and we see how beautifully you are keeping Gerard's memory alive, and helping people, like you said, that he does. But having, you know, experienced the personal transition of my mom and my sister, we often think about, you know, there are moments that we have, and you know, we wish they were there, or we wish they could see, you know, whether it's the great grandchildren or, you know, has there been a moment that stood out most that in these years that you really wish? And of course, you know, those of us that are faith believe that they're in our cloud of witnesses.
Absolutely.
So they see and know in their own way, but their presence, of course, is not there. Has there been a memorable moment that his presence was, the absence of his presence was felt more greatly than others?
Yes, I can say I've experienced that several times. When Gerard and I met, and I got my, I was working at a company then called Systems and Services. And when I started there, I was receptionist. And I got promoted to different things. But this last promotion, I think he would have just really been proud of me because I'm now a senior field representative.
Wow.
And way back then, what I was making compared to what I make now, the Lord has truly blessed me. And he was always in my corner. He pushed me to do things that I didn't even think I could do. He had more confidence in me than I had in me. So he was my biggest cheerleader. So anytime I get down now, I think about him being my cheerleader. So I think this last promotion I got at work, and that's another thing, even with widows, when you have those celebratory moments, those moments that you want to just vent, there's nobody there. But I still vent to him. And I still, you know, say, Rod, thank you for being my cheerleader and pushing me to be things that I never thought I could be.
Wow. So this is one of my staple questions that I ask all my guests because I love music. So if you had to name a song that describes this season of your life, what song do you think describes this season of your life? And it could be, you know, something that's a favorite of yours, something you find yourself listening to, or a song that reminds you of where you know you are right now.
I think probably the most popular song in Greenville or in the country now is CeCe Winans' The Goodness of God. Yes. I guess you've heard that, haven't you?
Yes, we've heard that.
So it's The Goodness of God. I sang that at church. And
so you sing too?
I do.
Okay.
I try.
Okay.
Yeah, I try. Okay. But yeah, The Goodness of God, because of during Gerard's illness, he was laid off from work. And we went through a lot of financial struggles, but we never lost a thing. He continued he made a way out of no way. So he made a way, could be another one. And he has truly seen me through these dark days, the good days, the bad days. And he's truly been good to me.
Yes.
He has truly been good to me.
Yes. So before we close, I'm going to ask for you to look in the camera over here, and if there's any words of encouragement, inspiration that you would have for widows, whether they are newly widowed or they are kind of still in that space, still in the space of being numb and don't know what to do next, how to move forward, or even how to connect with people, whatever's on your heart that you would want to share with other widows about living again like you are.
Okay.
If you would share that for us, please.
Okay. Wow. In 2009, I woke up 6:30 in the morning thinking it was going to be a normal day, and it was not. I got a call 30 minutes later to say that my husband had passed. I thought that was the end of the world. But the God I know didn't give up on me, and I did not give up on him. Time heals all wounds. I know it doesn't feel like it now, but it will get better. I say take 1 second at a time. A lot of people say take a minute, a moment, an hour, but I say 1 second because seconds can change. 1 second you'll be okay, and the next second you can be upset. But God will be your comforter, and he'll see you through. Wake up each day with a goal in mind to do something different, to move in a different way, but never, ever stop living. Because you're going to make it. I did.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. And to those that are watching, if you know or of any widows, I can only imagine the magnitude of the change and the impact that losing your spouse of over 20 years, almost 25 years, has on you. But as you heard Lanita say, and as you can see, she's a testament here sitting with us tonight that you can live again. And you not only can you live again, but you can live again and be fruitful.
Be fruitful. Yes.
We are seeing what she's done, amazing work through the 𝙘𝙬𝙗 Foundation, have helped over 20 students, awarded over $22,000, and now giving that same extension and reach to widows. So connect with her. The information was shared for the 𝙘𝙬𝙗 Foundation, and as well as to connect for the Walking in My Newness, the widow support group. So tell a friend to tell a friend, because the grief journey is something that we all will have to deal with. So Lanita, thank you again for coming and sharing and being open. And I appreciate your warm spirit and the care that with how you shared your story. And I'm sure Gerard was honored that the way you represented him, not only through 𝙘𝙬𝙗, but even in sharing the story.
Thank you so
tonight.
much.
So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your continued support of the Simply Tammy Show. I hope by now you have subscribed to the YouTube channel. But if you've gotten this far in the video and you still have not subscribed, pause the video, go subscribe, and then come back and finish. But really, connect with us. These stories are life-changing. I love how people we see every day, we don't know the depth of the impact that life has had on them, and then how their life can then in turn turn around and help you. So hopefully you're being encouraged and inspired through these stories. And until next time,